Tommy, you're with us for your start of the Gold Program Week treatment. Can you state your full name?
Tommy Huck. Is that
Sitting beside you is your mother, Susie. Susie, can you state your name as well?
Sure, my name is Susie Huck.
And Tommy, tell us a little bit about what you've been diagnosed with.
I've been diagnosed with RSD or CRPS, and it's a pain condition, and it's where the nerves are stuck in the on position, so they aren't turned off.
Right. And how did this condition come about for you, Tommy?
I had a car accident first, right? And then I had I had a school event, and it made it a lot worse then.
So how old were you, Tommy, when you had the car accident?
I think it was 10. Yeah.
10.
And then he was 11 when the knee accident happened.
So what we'll do here is, Susie, we'll let you clarify what Tommy is saying.
Okay.
10 years old, car accident. Was Tommy injured?
All three of us were in the car. Tommy's brother David was also in the car, and we all had whiplash. And it was a pretty significant accident. We got hit several times from behind.
And then nothing happened after that, and then when did the RSD come?
So within about a month after the car accident, Tommy started complaining about his legs and feet not feeling good. He said they ached, like they were sore and bruised, and he couldn't stay standing at school. So I'd find him hunched over on the curb, and I'd pick him up at school. And this went on, and I took him to the pediatrician and a podiatrist, and everybody said that it was growing pains. After having dealt with this for a while and connecting the dots, I've had other practitioners say that it probably was his sympathetic nervous system that got hyperstimulated from the whiplash, and it started drawing the blood away from the extremities. And so it never turned off. So about 5 or 6 months later, Tommy had an end of school athletic event that his whole class participated in, and he couldn't do the running, but he wanted to do things like javelin, and there was a long jump, and he wanted to try the long jump, so he did. And he said he landed okay, but it hurt his knee immediately. And later we found out that the kneecap looked like it didn't stay in place, and it pulled away, and the pulling away tore the tendon, only partially. And then there was what they called a stress fracture in the patellar of the knee bone. And it was almost immediately after that the CRPS set in. His leg turned eggplant purple, and that was pretty much the last time he walked.
And when was that, Susie?
That was in March of 2014.
Had anything occurred up until the car accident? Was he just a normal kid, running, playing, jumping? Going to
school, happy. In fact, probably, I would say the last 6 months to a year up until that, we were, I would say, at the peak of a well-run machine. We were happiest we've ever been. So.
And what, at that age, so the car accident happened at age 10, and the CRPS incident happened at age 11?
So he turned 11 3 months after the car accident.
Okay.
And then a couple months months after that, he had the long jump incident.
Mhm. And Tommy, when you had that incident with the long jump, so when you hit the ground and it hurt your knee, was that it? I mean, at that point, did you know something was really, really wrong?
Yeah, the CRPS didn't start that instant, but I knew something went wrong, and it hurt a lot, and so everything was like I was limping that day, and I couldn't stay standing. I was yeah, it was just,
Were you in pain?
yeah, it hurt a lot.
Was it just in your leg?
Yeah.
At that point, did it go down your leg, up your leg? Do you remember?
Yeah, not really. Do you remember?
I remember that,
I think it went the whole leg.
yeah, that it was pretty much, they call it a stocking glove. And so it was kind of like from the crease of the thigh, it was down to just below the ankle. And it went from every shade from violet to, like I said, eggplant purple.
From age 10 after the car accident, did the leg hurt at all? Or was it just,
Yeah.
you said that your mom said that you just had some, didn't feel like you could stand? Because
It,
when you couldn't do anything but the long jump, like you couldn't run, was that from the car accident? Was that a result from the car accident?
yeah, it was. I couldn't, it was really hard using my leg from the car accident, and so it just kind of got worse since the car accident. And it,
So running hurt.
yeah.
I don't know how he actually did the long jump itself. I think it was, he psyched himself up for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because right before that, he was hardly walking. He was, kind of lumping along, and, energy level, everything. He was exhausted shortly after, just from having to, stand up and walk around. So
All right.
something wasn't right, but we didn't know what it was.
So March 2014, up until now, August 2016, you guys have been dealing with CRPS. When did you get your diagnosis?
Tommy's pediatrician at the time clearly didn't know what was going on, because she said the color of the leg must have been he needed to see a dermatologist. And so I figured out that she, didn't have an idea of what was going on. So I switched doctors, and we went to UCD, and it was probably within a couple weeks of that. So it was the end of August of 2014. They diagnosed Tommy with CRPS, and then they hospitalized him within the month, and they wanted to do a nerve block, and they did.
Did it help?
They did a femoral, which is the top of the leg, and a sciatic nerve block, and it was a continuous, so they had him on continuous pain blocking medication for 15 days. And they said that it was at the lowest amount that they could give him, but he had complete leg drop, so there wasn't any ability to rehabilitate while there wasn't pain. So it was completely numb, but he couldn't do anything. He did have severe allodynia, to the point of he couldn't even be outside in the wind. So we had to protect him, with blankets or umbrellas or whatever. After the 15 days, they took out the continuous nerve block, and he had about 5 days of relatively pain-free, I would say. And then it came back stronger, if not, much stronger. But it came back, and then it was really bad again.
So at that point, you still couldn't walk?
No.
without crutches. Are you in a wheelchair, Tommy?
Yeah.
For the- And you guys you've been bedridden for, how long were you bedridden? For the most part?
How long did you say it's been?
Almost really the whole time. I mean, has to be, supervised when he gets up.
Mhm.
So he needs help transitioning, he needs help, getting from one place to the other. And I would say up until about this last summer with one of the latest treatments, he was unable to do anything. So almost a little over 2 years.
And has Tommy been on pain medications
No.
during this time? No pain meds?
No pains. No pain
So no pain meds. What type of medications, if any?
They've thrown just about everything at him. Antidepressants, the gabapentin, Lyricas. Nothing has helped. The latest things that have helped from a lifestyle standpoint has been Remeron, and that has, for the first time, allowed him to sleep. So he's been on that since June, and before that he had complete insomnia, so he didn't sleep for almost 2 years.
Due to the pain? The pain just doesn't allow you to rest at all, huh?
No. It's really hard.
And so you're on, tell me that medication again?
It's called Remeron,
Yeah.
or
Remeron.
mirtazapine.
And is that all that Tommy's on?
He's on a variety of supplements. There's one, his gastrointestinal system has been affected since then, and so he's nauseous 23 out of 24 hours a day. He has had some relief from a compounded medicine called domperidone. It's not FDA approved in the United States, so we have to get it outside of the United States. And that has helped much more than not taking it.
When you say help, what does it help?
It helps keep his digestive system regular. It helps the nausea somewhat, keep it down a little bit so that he can eat some things. But his appetite is not good. He literally has to force himself to eat. And then there's one other compounded medication that we got early on. I flew him out to see Dr. Chopra, who is one of the best, CRPS doctors in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And he put him on low-dose naltrexone. And so he's been on that for a little over 2 years. And I think that has helped, at least in my mind, I think it's helped keep it from spreading. And I think it's helped his immune system.
And naltrexone,
Mm-hmm.
what does that particular drug do? Does it just calm the nerves, or is it a nerve medication?
No, not at all. What it does is it blocks and don't quote me on this, but I think it blocks the brain from secreting from releasing the chemical dopamine, or one of the chemicals that makes you feel really good. And by stopping that, your brain actually says, I need to produce more. So it makes it feel like it doesn't have enough, and so it produces more of the feel-good chemical that your body naturally makes. And by producing more of that, it helps bring the immune system in balance, and it does help, just sort of equalize things.
Have you been able to tell a difference in Tommy?
I think it's, when I compare him with other patients where it has spread and I see other things, I would like to attribute it to that. Nothing else has really made a dent as far as his pain.
Tommy, can you tell any difference from taking the medication?
I can't remember.
Okay. And you guys recently had a procedure
Mhm.
done, and can you tell us a little bit about that and when this happened?
Sure. Since the very first femoral and sciatic nerve block, Tommy was referred to Stanford. And Stanford then did another nerve block, which actually made it much worse. We asked for some assistance locally, and none of the local doctors would help him. They said that there was nothing that they could do. So I kind of scoured the different support groups and the different things that were available for pediatrics, and there isn't a lot, but I did find a doctor in Florida who runs the pain clinic in the Florida Spine Institute, and many parents of children with CRPS have taken their children there, and that was Dr. Hanna. And so I flew Tommy down to Florida, and he had IV ketamine infusions.
And when was this, Susie?
The first time was March of this year, February or March of this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had the infusion for 9 days with nothing, or 8 days with nothing. And then he woke up on the 9th day, and 1 o'clock in the morning, he said, "Mom, wake up." And I said, "What's going on?" He says, "I have no pain." And it was pretty amazing. And he actually walked into the doctor's office that day, and that lasted about 4 or 5 days, and it's been a climb up since then. And the pain returned fairly quickly, I would say within a couple of weeks, back to the original level. And then the second time we had it was in late August, and he also had a relief for a couple weeks from that.
And did you go through 9 days?
Went through 10 days, and by the 7th day this time, he found a relief. It did not go to 0, but it went down to, was it 2 or 3, you said? But it was substantially less.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
He has not been able to walk on his own, though, at all. It seems like the legs have gotten disconnected from the brain. And so he hasn't been able to walk, coordinate movement. So he just uses his crutches to swing, or uses his wheelchair.
Right. So the first ketamine treatment actually allowed you to walk for a few days and be some pain-free?
Yeah. It was still kind of hard, but it was a lot better than it was, yeah. Yeah.
Was that the first time your feet had actually touched the floor in 2 years, Tommy?
That's the first time it's been able to, use them. So.
Is that the first time you've actually used your feet to support yourself in 2 years, alone, without crutches?
Yeah, I think I still used crutches, but, yeah.
So have you been without crutches since this whole thing started in March of 2014?
No,
No. It's been an everyday.
yeah.
And so you guys found us through the RSDA promotion that they did, and you gave us a call. We agreed to come out and treat Tommy. Tommy, how your pain level at this point today, right now, on a pain scale from 1 to 10, where do you think you are?
I'm not sure, maybe a 4. Do I look like a 4?
I think there's two different situations. I think when he's not moving, I would say there's a 4, but then I think
Yeah.
when he moves, what I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, when he moves, the pain climbs rapidly.
Mm.
And when I talk to him at home, it hovers anywhere between a 7, 8, when he's moving. It's pretty painful.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get up from your chair, you take your crutches, and you go from this room to the next room, Tommy, you think you're going to go up the scale?
Yeah, definitely. It's 7,
Okay.
8.
All right. And Tommy, tell us, and your mom may have to help you here, what are you hoping to gain from our program here this week? What are your goals for the week?
Hopefully get some relief and some progress. And yeah, what are you hoping for?
I'd like to see him walk.
Yeah.
Would that be the gold medal?
It would be a gold medal.
Absolutely. And Susie, what are your goals? What are your thoughts on the week, or what are you hoping to gain from this? What are you hoping Tommy gains from this?
What I'm hoping is that this starts a path that is a non-pharmaceutical, natural way of nurturing his body so that he can move in that direction, so that his quality of life is better. His daily struggles to just be go from just surviving and moving into the thriving. And that he can enjoy life again, because he was a vibrant, articulate child.
Right. So you all can enjoy one another and life. It's hard, I know it's hard for the caregiver as well, the parent.
It's hard to see your child suffer.
Absolutely. And so Tommy, did you sleep at all last night?
It was kind of hard. Yeah, I slept a little. It was hard.